starts right now on KDWB.
I think sometimes we need to explain why we call it War of the Roses. Now, we call it War of the Roses because there was actually a War of the Roses back in history. Now, I don't know when that happened.
Location?
I don't know the location. I don't know anything about it, but I also know that there was a movie with Danny DeVito a long time ago called War of the Roses.
Oh.
Now, the War of the Roses actual radio bit, we've been doing it for 15 years or so. I don't remember where it was inspired, whether it was inspired by the actual war or the movie, but the important thing now is in 2020 pop culture, nobody cares about the War of the Roses or the movie The War of the Roses.
Nope.
They only know the radio bit War of the Roses. There's the background.
Thanks for the history lesson. I honestly didn't even know that.
So now there's a radio bit called War of the Roses, and we do it every week, and here we go. Talking on the phone with Ethan. This is interesting because Ethan doesn't want to test his fiancé. He's claiming you already know she's cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this is an interesting War of the Roses in that usually they want to test people to find out who they want to send roses to, or in this case, have a romantic dinner with. But you just want to let her know she's busted, and you actually want to call off your wedding in June. Yes?
Yeah, exactly. There's no doubt in my mind she's cheating.
Well, how would you know? I mean, how have you known this for so long? I mean, at one point you got engaged to her, you loved her, you trusted her. What has happened since then that you're like, we're not going to do this wedding?
Well, it's been several things. Maggie and I do not live together, and not too long ago, I decided to pop in on her late one night after work. I had just gotten off, and I thought, I'd just swing by. She'd be excited to see me. And I went by her house, and she met me at the door. She looked terrible, and she, how you kind of, won't fully open the door. She was kind of like, oh, I wasn't expecting you. The house is a wreck. I don't look great. I don't really feel that great. Kind of all these, weird excuses, and she wouldn't let me in. And I'm like, we're getting married in June. We're going to, live together full time. I don't care what your house and you look like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But she wouldn't let me in. I didn't really push it that night. I didn't know maybe if there was more to it about how she was feeling, whatever. But then after that, and I can see on Venmo, that she has Venmo'd other guys money. And when I asked her about it, she's like, oh, it's just friends and that kind of thing. But we have all the same friends. We've been dating very seriously for a while. I don't know who any of these guys are. But the most recent one that, like I said, I've known, but this one was just so absurd that I can't even believe she said this with a straight face. The other night, I was at her house, and in her bathroom, on the floor, there was a man's toenail clipping.
Okay, how do you know it was a man's toenail clipping?
Well, because first of all, it was huge, and she has, tiny feet. And second of all, she always has a fresh pedicure, nails painted, and this was just a big, disgusting bare toenail.
There is a difference, Fallon, yeah.
And it couldn't accidentally be yours?
No, I have never clipped my toenails there, and I'm not the kind of guy that would just leave that shit laying around.
Okay, but here's another. I have to ask you have to wonder if a guy came over to hook up, who sits down on the side of the tub with a pair of toenail clippers after the hookup?
Dave, the same guy who trims his pubes here at work in the urinal, okay?
Is there a guy that trims his pubes in the urinal?
I've been told about this. It's happened at other workplaces.
Are you serious?
Yeah, other workplaces I've worked as well. It's who's coming in and when are they doing that?
Also, and this guy, you don't bring your toenail clippers everywhere. So he was obviously, going through the bathroom stuff.
Yeah.
And which is honestly part of the reason I want to do this is to expose her. But also I want to find out who this moron is. And so anyway, I find the toenail clipping. I confronted her with it. I showed it to her.
Well, of course you would. Yeah, you don't go, oh, gee, I wonder. I'm going to keep this a secret and maybe find out later.
Right. And first of all, the look on her face, she knew she was caught. Mm-hmm. But in a panic, what she says that it must belong to her dog.
Okay, in a panic, I can see how you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's Buddy's toenail.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, but humans have fingers and toes, and dogs have, claws. They don't look remotely similar.
No, you're absolutely right. But in a panic, she's got to come up with something. And she came up with the fact that it was the dog's toenail. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just absurd. Like I said, I have no doubt that she is cheating. I just want to know who it is, and I want to expose her.
So if she sends it to someone else, you're going to be done?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What if she does send it to you? Are you still done because you know the truth?
I mean, in my mind, yes, we're done. But I'm just telling you, she's going to send this to this other. I have no doubt that she's cheating, and she's gonna pick the other dude.
That's very upsetting if you're supposed to be getting married in like June and you're that confident that you're not the person she's going to pick.
I wonder, let me ask you this one. Before we make the phone call, you call us and let us know, do you think that she's going to have dinner with somebody else? Do you think that there's a lot of couples that are getting married in June or July or next week and they're thinking about canceling it? I wonder how many couples that are thinking about getting married, that are going to get married, are like, I don't think I want to do this. Or they're cheating, or they know their fiance is cheating. How many? Let me know. Text or call. Anything about War of the Roses, but especially if you've got a comment on somebody who's getting married this summer, but they're thinking about calling it off. Okay. So we will, if this goes the way you think it will, you're going to call off your wedding to Maggie live on the radio next.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Are they cheating? Let's find out. Part 2 of War of the Roses starts right now on KDWB.
What do you think is going to happen here? Okay, War of the Roses, give me a little background. He's already noticed, like, different things. Like, one time he went to his fiance's house, and she doesn't live with him. And she's like, you can't come in. It's too messy. I don't look good. It looks terrible, and I don't feel good. And he's like, then he went back to his car, and he's like, wait a second. There was somebody there.
Probably, yeah. What do you think?
Then he noticed that she was Venmoing money to people that he didn't know, guys. Well, it's just a friend. And then the topper was he found a toenail clipping on her bathroom floor. He knows it's not his.
Yep, he knows it's a man's.
And when a guy's clipping his toenails at her house, that just shows you there's a level of comfort and a nudity at the house. Correct. Why would a guy go to her, unless he spent a long leisurely weekend, why would he even stop clip his toenails?
It's very possible. I think everyone's done some, the weird part, everyone's done some last minute grooming, okay? Let's be honest. You go to the bathroom, you panic really quick. There's some last minute grooming. So maybe this guy saw his toenails and was like, eek! And he quickly searched for toenail clippers and trimmed them really quick. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, it could be. Molly's in Maple Grove. What do you think? We also asked if anybody's listening who's thinking about calling their wedding off, even though it's coming up in only a couple of months. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning.
You were good. You were thinking about calling off a wedding, and tell me what happened.
So basically, I got engaged to this guy, and it was really sudden. So we met at work, and so he kind of fell in love with me, and I was like, he's a really great guy. Why not just go into this? And so I ended up getting married to him, and my parents and my family members were like, why are you rushing into this? And I was like, well, he's a little bit older in age as well as like the last girls. And I just wanted to commit to him. I wanted to try and make this work, and I had my doubts, and now that we're married, it's like I really hold it against him a little bit, So I had my doubts, and whenever we get into a fight, it's like, why did I do this?
So you're still married. You're still in the marriage, but you're kind of regretting and even resenting the whole thing.
Exactly. And it's like, if he's having doubts now, he really shouldn't get married, because he's going to bring it into the marriage with him, and it might just make the marriage really toxic.
Well, he said he's going to dump her no matter what. So we'll hear that in a minute. Hey, by the way, thanks for the phone calls.
Yeah, this one was kind of similar. The girl asked, why would you do it if you, and this is a perfect reason I think most people do. Over 10 years ago, I got married knowing he was cheating, but I was too nervous to call off a huge wedding we had planned. We ended up being divorced within 6 months. And I think that's probably what happens most of the time. You've already planned a lot. You already have a lot of money.
You're embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
Here's one interesting. It's from a woman. I've cheated on my husband multiple times. Don't judge. I told him he had a chance to walk, but if it were a hookup, there wouldn't be clippings. It's a full-blown relationship. That is a good point. If it's just a hookup, he's in and he's out.
Yeah.
If it's a full-blown, if he's sitting down on the side of the tub to clip his toenails, he's comfortable.
You would think so, yeah.
Okay, let's find out what happens. We're going to make the phone call right now and see who she wants to go to this romantic dinner with.
Maggie, that's all we need from you today. We do want to, once again, thank you so much for participating in our survey. We have an amazing dinner. I'm actually very jealous of you because this dinner sounds phenomenal. We're going to set up for you and a guest.
Okay.
It's just our way of saying thank you for taking the time out of your day. So would you like to go ahead and arrange that right now? I can set up a reservation for you guys. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, sounds good.
So we leave a little place card on the table for you and the guest, and obviously we have your name. So we'd love to grab the name of the person that will be joining you.
Oh, okay. I just tell you?
Yeah, first and last name, please.
Okay, Bradley.
Great. And then we can add a little card waiting for him when he arrives if you'd like. What would you like that to say?
Oh, okay.
I know it's
can't
kind of
wait
on
for you
the
to
spot.
hold.
Sorry.
I guess it's okay. Just say can't wait for you to hold me again.
Okay. Oh, that's very sweet. Is this a serious relationship you're in then?
I mean, I think it's going to be. It's a little bit kind of new, but he's really amazing. So, it's just like one of those things where, you know what I mean. He's amazing.
Yeah. You kind of, did you know like the moment you met each other?
I think it was kind of like that. I mean, you hear about that stuff happening and it just doesn't seem real until it happens to you.
I always ask people when they're in a relationship and they kind of have the sound of their voice like you do, like, did you know that they're the one?
I don't want to jinx anything. So
okay. I get that.
Yeah, but he's so wonderful.
I feel so gross, really.
Yeah.
Because I have to hear that, and then I have to hear your reaction when you find out that that Ethan is listening in, and Ethan thought he was the one.
Ethan.
Yeah, Ethan put us up to this, and this is Dave Ryan over at KDWB, and that's why you're hearing this strange voice. But Ethan put us up to this to call you because
So the whole thing wasn't about the survey and
No, Maggie, no. We're done. We are done. I've known you were cheating for months. Now I have it. We are completely over. We're over. We're not getting married. No. Listen. No, you listen to me for a second. We're not getting married. I want my ring back, and you can use your mom's money to marry Bradley, whatever his name was. But we're done. We're done. And you can tell your mom, by the way, that we're not getting married and our engagement is off because you are a whore cheating on me, and see how she likes that.
This is not how I wanted it to be.
Yeah, well, this is how I wanted it to be. You think I wanted to hear that you're cheating?
Ethan, you don't understand.
What? There's nothing to understand. You're cheating on me. We've been engaged. I've known it's been going on for a while, and you're cheating on me. There's nothing I need to understand other than that. We're done.
Wow, you don't understand me.